Up for another photo walk road trip, this time down the dramatic, rocky Oregon coast. So right now we're at the very top of the state where the coast begins, about a little bit north of Seaside, and we're going to go all 363 miles down, ending by the California border. Along the way, we'll see iconic lighthouses, dramatic rock formations, tide pools, fishing villages, and we'll also meet some local characters and great photographers. And speaking of shutterbugs, I'm Jefferson Graham. I'm a lifelong photographer, writer, and video maker. I am your guide for today's photo walk of the Oregon coast. The whole goal of the photo walk series is to show you how, when, and where to get great photos. Our first stop will be in Cannon Beach, Portland and Seattle's favorite little seaside nostalgic community and home to dozens of galleries and that mammoth 235-foot Haystack Rock. Then we'll head to the fishing village in Newport and end up in Bandon, home to more rock formations, tide pools, and a great home base to check out some of the coolest lighthouses in the state. As always, check out our blog for detailed mapping info and suggested photo walk route. Before we get started, a quick word on gear. You can do it all with a smartphone and get fantastic landscapes and snapshots. You won't be able to get in tight on sea animals and other things that might strike your fancy unless you have a camera with a zoom lens. But that's okay. I want to focus as much as I can on smartphone photography because that's what you're using. However, if I see a puffin flying by or I want to get in tight on a sea animal, I'm reaching for my Sony. Cannon Beach is at the top of the state, just south of Astoria, about a 90-minute drive west from Portland. It has less than 2,000 full-time residents, but it swells in the summer and on weekends, where people have been coming back for years to rent beach cottages for extended stays and to walk those nearly 4 miles of wide, sandy beaches. So this is it, the 225-foot high iconic Haystack Rock. It's the symbol of Cannon Beach. This will be your key photo walk shot. It's all over Cannon Beach, everywhere you look.
So for me, Cannon Beach means going to the beach, walking down to Haystack Rock.
Tide pools, the beach itself. I mean, the Pacific Ocean is an incredible being that we get to be really close to it.
And may I add dramatic cliffs, tide pools, an ever-changing tide, a really long walkable 4-mile beach, fun downtown, saltwater taffy, local art, and more.
Favorite photo spot here? Favorite photo spot, you gotta get Haystack Rock.
I think it's one of the most photographed things in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, people come here just to take a photograph with the rock.
We will dive into photographing the rock in a minute, but first, it's photo walk time. So we'll start here at the edge of town at Bruce's Candy Kitchen and work our way up the cute downtown past the cafes, little shops, headed towards that big attraction, of course, the rock. When not hanging out at the beach and marveling at that huge rock, Hemlock Street Retail is all about food, gifts, and art. Art in Cannon Beach is a tradition that goes back to the 1960s and 70s, when the town would shut tight in the fall and winter, providing affordable accommodations for working artists.
So we developed a little niche of being arts on the Oregon coast in the sense of the community becoming an arts community as well as a landscape that was very attractive. So they work together very well.
There are over 10 lighthouses in Oregon, but here in Cannon Beach, the only way to see the Tillamook Lighthouse is to wave at it from the water. It sits on a rock about a mile off the coast near Ecola State Park. The lighthouse is not open to the public. Because the beach is so expansive, people love to ride their bikes and horses on the sand. In the classic movie The Goonies, which was shot in Cannon Beach in Astoria, they even drove their cars on the sand. get a bad shot of the Haystack Rock anywhere in town.
From the left to the right or straight on, all work for me.
I also love some of these out-of-the-way places for a great expansive view of the rock and the environs. This is a side street called Ocean Avenue. Pretty cool, it's right by the sand dunes. If it's sunset you want, you don't want to be here. You want to be on the south side of the rock to get that glimpse of the sun. It's kind of hard right now because for video I'm exposed for myself. But trust me, there's a little sunset over there. That's why all the photographers are getting the shot. Now remember, you'll need a wide-angle lens to capture this all, or just go ultra-wide on your smartphone. So don't forget about the tide tables. Tomorrow morning, these tides, all the way back to the rock, there'll be all these amazing tide pools. It changes every day at different times, so be sure to check your tide tables before you head out.
The magic of low tide is getting to see the tide pools that form. You get your best glimpse of starfish, which tend to cling to rocks early in the morning. Finally, we have one more great shot to show you of Haystack Rock and the expanse of the Cannon Beach coast. It's about a mile away, but you'll need to drive there.
So this is it, the Ecola State Park, the best place in town to capture not just the Haystack Rock, but all the rocks with a big wide view. Looks great with a telephoto lens. Not bad with a smartphone either. Take a look. It's pretty cool, right? Now, what do Cannon Beach and Candy have in common?
I think it's the beach and candy. You know, any beach town, you're going to have a good candy store.
Saltwater taffy.
Yes, it's synonymous with the beach. No, it was a really good marketing tool by someone a long, long time ago, way before us. I think it was like one of the first World Fairs. There's saltwater taffy. It's a beach thing. Started, the tale we know, started like the Atlantic Boardwalk, and a man had left his shutters open one night, and the taffy got wet. And the next day, he put a sign out for saltwater taffy, and he sold out. And it just became known as saltwater taffy from that day forward.
So what is in taffy?
Sugar, corn syrup, a little bit of coconut oil, color and flavor, and butter in a few flavors.
Now, before we leave Cannon Beach, a quick word about the weather. We did our photo walk in the summer with a mix of sun and clouds. In the winter, it must be said, Cannon Beach is very, very wet.
They're quiet and can be slow business-wise, but like weather-wise, it's just a little rainy and windy.
During the winter, you've got some great wave watching. When the storms roll in, the ocean just gets really rough, really violent. It's not safe to be in it or near it.
But we love you anyway. Now it's time to get back in the car and take off to our next stop. So long, Cannon Beach. Can't wait to come back. We're en route to Newport, of course, and along the way we'll stop in Hug Point, a secluded beach about 5 miles out of town with a natural waterfall. As we continue down 101 South, we'll pass Tillamook, home to the factory that makes Oregon cheese and ice cream, among other things, the busy fishing village of Lincoln City, and our favorite lighthouse on the coast, Yaquina Head. It's 5 miles from downtown Newport. The lighthouse is Oregon's tallest at 93 feet and was built in 1873. As part of our photo walk, know that there are 3 different ways to photograph the lighthouse: straight on, from below in the sand, or above via a short hike. Which do you prefer? We got this angle of the lighthouse just down the way at Agate Beach, and we didn't have to climb a hill.
Well, we made it to the Central Coast, and where else but Newport, Oregon. We'll start by taking a photo walk through the village as designed by my friend Janelle Goplin, one of the co-owners of the Clearwater restaurant in town. And then we're going to meet up with the local photographer, Sharon Biddinger, for her take on some of the best hidden spots in Newport. Are you ready? Let's go walking.
Newport is home to about 10,000 people, some pretty cool bridges, a historic waterfront, and a fishing industry that dominates the town. Add some great outdoors hiking and scenery, and it's a great place for a coastal photo walk. Okay, so you want to do a photo walk of Newport, Oregon, go to the source, talk to a local.
There you
Janelle,
go.
thank you.
Thank you for having me on your show. Yes. Welcome to Clearwater Restaurant.
We're thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled to follow your steps of the best photo spots for a photo walk in Newport.
Thank you. Well, Newport has amazing weather today, and it's a great day to get out there and do our photo walk. So let's do it.
Where to begin the walk? How about on South Bay Boulevard in the historic Waterfront District?
Okay, so if you come to Newport, I think a great walking tour is a place to start would be Embarcadero. Embarcadero's been there for a very long time. It's condos, units, hotel rooms, etc., but it's got a beautiful view. And first photo I would snap is right there. Go out on the docks. You can walk out onto the boat docks, take a picture. The bridge is behind. It's a great spot. Fish plant, you can take pictures of the fish guts falling down. The sea lion, the next place would be here at Clearwater Restaurant. So Clearwater, you do see the sea lions here, and it's really fun.
And you hear them.
And you hear them and smell them. Yeah. As you keep walking down the bayfront, you'll see lots of painted buildings. These have been around for a long time. Some famous artists have painted different, seascapes and fisherman paintings, which are really fun. If you keep walking down, you'll also see it looks like older restaurants or little shops that have the traditional coastal buoys on the front and signs, and those are really fun too. You get to the end, you walk up the hill, and you can see the beautiful bridge, the symbol of Newport. Yes, and it's Art Deco, but you'll get some great shots.
Another must is grabbing a quick portrait of a fisherman. And it's not hard, just ask. I got this quick shot of three brothers as they prepare to take off for 5 days on the water in search of their catch. And speaking of local fish,
these are our Dungeness whole crabs. I believe, and I want to think that Newport is the #1 place for Dungeness crab. These whole crabs are pretty amazing. They have the best flavor that I ever tried in Dungeness. We get them pretty much year round. Like these ones right here, I just got them yesterday. We cooked them freshly, got them out of the boat to the restaurant, and here they are.
you want to tell me about how somebody eats one of these?
Yeah, you gotta take the shell off like that.
And then eat the insides.
In the inside, break them down. We have all the utensils that go with it, so you can enjoy.
That wraps up our photo walk of downtown Newport, the historic bayfront. It's the jewel of the city. There are other highlights as well, including this vintage historic bridge, which we're going to check out in a second with our friend Sharon. Let's go meet her. Come on.
So Sharon, what do we have in store? What are we doing?
Okay, so first of all, we wanted to take you to the Devil's Punch Bowl. It's pretty spectacular. You'll see.
So a photo walk adventure in Newport.
Absolutely. We're going to take you to all of the cool spots.
Great. Let's go.
All right.
The coastline is sensational. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. You know, the weather doesn't always cooperate, but go out in it anyway. So we're at the Devil's Punch Bowl. This here will be a trail that we'll walk all the way down to climb into the Punch Bowl. So we'll be able to do that. It's only accessible in low tide.
And we better hop to it, right?
Yep, we better do that. Tide's coming in. As we're gonna walk right through that little opening there. Not bad.
And why did we do that?
I'm sorry?
Why did we just walk in the water?
Because the tide is coming in. It's incoming tide, so it's raising. So that's just going to fill up a little bit more. So we're going to come in here through quickly. Isn't that gorgeous?
What will this look like in an hour?
In an hour, you won't see any of the rocks. This will come all the way in.
Let's set up a shot. Where should I stand?
We can get on the rocks if you want.
Okay.
So we're just going to take you on a little adventure around these walks. So.
And the landscape picture that most people take is a wide shot of the opening, right?
It is. A lot of people will come down here and just kind of get the walls with all the rust color. The Oregon Adventure here. I said it's the Oregon Adventure here. It's just like the coolest spot ever. It is. I love it.
So, check your tide tables before you come.
Absolutely.
Right? And that way you won't have to walk on the water.
And you can find tide charts everywhere, online, apps on your phone. Super simple.
Yeah, and you want to be here, what, an hour before high tide? At least, like the latest?
Well, you'll want to be here when the tide is between 3 foot and less, regardless, because the tides change. Sometimes low tide is 4 foot, sometimes low tide is -2. So you don't want to come in here with it's more than 3 foot. You won't get out. So right below is right where we came from, which here's the up top, above the punch bowl. This is where you come and see. It's pretty interesting when it fills up with water because that's all you see. All the rocks go away, everything goes away, and all you see is the churn of the water.
From there, we headed over and under the bridge for different ways of photographing the Art Deco and iconic Yaquina Bay Bridge. It opened in 1936 and is now on the National Register of Historic Places. We began by parking by the public fishing pier and then walking over the pier for our shot. This also happens to be a great place to catch your crab and perhaps photograph it as well. We thought this might be a great spot for a time lapse, then decided that maybe we should go to the marina instead for a wider view. This was also a great place to bring out the drone and catch the sunset, which was not visible to the eye-level camera.
What do you like about photographing the Oregon coast?
It's just beautiful. You can capture like all kinds of stuff, from rocks, to waves, to birds, to pretty much everything. Wildlife.
I mean, they say the winters are rough.
Yes, they are. The best time will be fall, during fall season, September, October. It's just the best weather around here.
It's a bit temperamental. We say our weather here on the coast. If you don't like the weather here on the coast, wait 5 minutes and it'll change. Most of us locals have umbrellas, blankets, jackets, and rain gear in the car just in case. Extra pair of socks and shoes because that's how it is here.
Sharon Biddinger, thank you so much for taking us on this photo walk, photo journey, photo tour all over your town of Newport.
Thank you for having us. That was fun.
Yeah, it was great. And if people want to see your work online, if they want to contact you, how do they find you?
They can find us at simplydesignstudios.com.
Goodbye, Newport. Next stop, Bandon. We've got a 2.5-hour drive ahead of us, and our next big rest stop will be another historic lighthouse, the Hecta Head, which is 203 feet above the ocean. It's said to be the most photographed lighthouse in the U.S., but take that claim with a grain of salt. What we do know is that the lighthouse is so tall, it will be hard for you to capture it when you stand in front of her. Like we did at Yaquina, there's a short hike to the side. I suggest you go up there for a way better view.
We made it to the south in part 3 of the photo walk, now in beautiful Bandon-by-the-sea.
Well, I'm not alone in saying that Bandon is a photographer's dream. The Chamber of Commerce puts it front and center in their promotional materials. Why is that?
Because it has such an otherworldly feel. And it seems like photographers are always searching for that sort of otherworldly type of location. The Oregon coast, and Bandon in particular, I think really meets that.
That was the voice of Susan Dimmock, a local photographer and motelier who we will meet up with in a minute. But first, let's explore downtown Bandon. Photographing Face Rock is the main attraction, but let's walk through the cute old town first for some snacks, antiques perhaps, and a visit to the marina. One of the main attractions is public art made out of garbage left behind in the ocean by an outfit called Washed Ashore. It's art to save the sea and an important lesson for all of us. People also come to Old Town for the marina, where crabbing is quite popular. This is Oregon, after all.
Grab them from the back. See, they kind of try and get at you.
There she is.
From the marina dock, you get to see the Coquille Lighthouse, which has been standing since 1896. To get up close and personal, you'll need to take a little drive down the way to Bullard's Beach Road. Now let's go meet Susan at La Chris Inn.
Well, hi, Susan. I'm
Hi.
Jeff. How are you?
Great.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to meet you. I was
Okay.
looking forward to this.
Photographer by night and weekend, motelier by day.
There you go.
With beautiful pictures everywhere.
Thank you. Yeah, we live in a beautiful place.
And I'm thrilled that you're going to show us around a little bit.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so snap
Do you
on
wanna
your
get
cannon.
going? Okay.
Snap on your jacket. We're going to get really windy
All right.
down at the beach, right?
Yes, let's go.
All righty.
Here we go.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Hi, so I guess I have one important ingredient I have to add, right?
The camera?
The boots.
The boots.
The boots.
Oh, you don't want to not wear boots.
You don't want to come here and not get giant boots, right?
Exactly.
Rubber boots.
Yeah, there's water everywhere.
So we're doing this in the second day of summer, the second longest day of the year.
Oh, there you go.
And we are dressed for winter.
There you go.
Right? That's what the Oregon coast is like.
Yep, summer by day, winter by sunset.
To Wizard Hat.
To Wizard's Hat. That's
I have
beautiful.
a feeling it's right around the corner.
It is.
Cannon Beach, the iconic shot there is the Haystack Rock. Here it is.
Face Rock, Howling Dog, and the Wizard.
All right. And what makes it a Wizard's Hat?
Well, if you move over here to the correct angle,
Yeah.
then it really does look like a wizard's hat. Classic wizard's hat shot is to approach it from here with these two rocks flanking it.
Do you know my stupid iPhone trick?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
God, sickening.
I know. That's the iPhone slow shutter trick. It's the easiest thing to do. You make sure to go on live photos, and then you flip it up, and you have 4 effects to choose from: live, loop, bounce, or long exposure. Check it out. Now, what do you say to people who say, you know, I love Oregon, I love the coast, but I'll just go to the north because it's so much easier to get to. I could just fly into Portland. This is a trek.
It really is, yeah. But it's worth it, and people are discovering that, you know. I think it's the most interesting beach on the Oregon coast. I don't want to, advertise that too much, but it is.
What makes it the most interesting?
Well, the sea stacks, the variety and the majesty of these sea stacks is unparalleled.
This is Howling Dog.
Howling Dog Rock. From here, you want to try to separate the rocks.
Okay.
The separation between the rocks is the main thing. We'll try from over here.
Okay, I think I like your angle.
Yeah. It's between the bluff and Elephant Rock. So it's kind of flanked nicely.
Okay, you going low?
Yeah, I usually do.
Okay, then I'll go low. This is Face Rock?
This is the famous Face Rock.
And what makes it famous?
Okay, so Jeff, tilt your head back like this.
Yeah.
And look up to the
I got
sky.
it. I got it.
Okay, that's the profile. And lots of tourists come here and they'll stand in front of it and tilt the head back and take that shot.
Okay, so the way to really enjoy this rock, I got to come to Bandon and find out. Show me, Susan, like this.
Okay, so we go back here.
And someone will be standing over here and take our picture.
Okay, here we go. And do we go like this?
Yeah.
And our stomachs stick out and everything? And let's look at Ruth. Now that all the photographers and everybody has found out about the magic of Bandon through this Photo Walks episode, your phone's going to be ringing. Everybody wants to come to Bandon now, right?
Right.
If you need a place to stay, look Chris in.
Not Christian, right?
All right. Thank you, Susan, for showing us.
You're welcome. It was great.
Let's head out before
All
it
right.
gets dark.
Bye.
And with that, it was time to take off on the road again, about 90 miles south to Brookings and the state line, saying goodbye, Oregon, hello, California.
Oregon coast, ending right over there on the other side of my camera. California is right around the corner. Hope you enjoyed our Photo Walk road trip. Any questions or concerns, look for me on Twitter or Instagram where I'm at Jefferson Graham, and I will see you on the next Photo Walk. Bye, everyone.